Whoa. All right. Let's see what we got here. Want to say shouts out to everybody out there. It's your boy Carcino here. Whew. Let's begin going through this. This has been a lot of problems on this end today with all the technical difficulties and all the craziness that's going on. People want to know why I wasn't talking about this. Why you ain't talking about this? I'm like, for real? Are we seriously asking this question to me? They're seriously asking me, why wasn't I talking about Jalen Green and Draya Michelle pregnancy news? Oh, man. Look at me. I'm down there like, look at that. Pregnancy news. Let's talk about it. Now, for those that want to know, why wasn't I talking about this? I didn't think it was something that needed to be discussed. But I see obviously now I'm wrong. This is something that needs to be discussed. He just caught a charge, 18 years to life. Here's the interesting thing, people. I don't think everyone is focused where they should be on what is going on here. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But when you start looking and thinking about what is actually the main concern, and you start saying to yourself, this isn't the way it's supposed to go, and society's a little messed up. Well, this could be that, anomaly that you might be thinking of. Because this is a growing problem. Yes. I look at situations for what they are and go from there. That's what I try to do. Saying, what you saying? You thought she was drunk. Oh, you saying that he was drunk? Okay, that what you saying? Well, my boy just wrecked his Tesla. On another note, yeah, he just posted his hospital ban, and all he's worried about is that Tesla. Uh-oh. Boom! Car went and smashed into his back car. That's the back of his Tesla. This fool smashed right into the back of it. So I'm glad he survived, but that's terrible. Now, let's get into this and let's take it even further. Um, yes, I think it's only fair that we discuss what's actually happening. No, well, let me tell you like this. Here's the problem people have with the situation, right? And I'm going to explain to you why Jalen Green is with her. Because everybody's like, dude, you got all these millions of dollars. Why are you with Draya Michelle? You know, like, what is wrong with you? So you look at it, she's like 39 or something in that age bracket, right? If you look about, let's say you think about her age, right? And you start talking about her age and you start putting her in a category where they start saying, and speaking on a woman's age bracket or the way she looks or things of that nature. This is clearly not ideal. Okay? This is not going to work. This situation is getting highlighted because people don't really understand the focus or the hypersensitivity of what's going on. Absolutely. I'm listening to people try to break down and tell me what's what. Right? And I'm going to break it down to show you why a 20-some-year-old kid, he's 22 years of age. Okay? He's young. Jalen Green is a 22-year-old man. So you wondering, why is he interested in Draya Michelle? Because he's seen her in all of these clubs. She's in the mix. She's in all these places that all the celebrities are. She's a woman of leisure. She was on Basketball Wives, even though she wasn't married to a basketball player. She dated a lot of people when she was a stripper in Philly. She messed around with Gilbert Arenas. And a lot of people thought her son was Gilbert's son. But see, he's 22 years old. He's not going to know about Draya Michelle's history. He's not going to know that this woman left her 7-year-old son in an apartment by himself with frozen dinners, microwavable dinners, and a little bitty dog in an apartment while she goes strip and hoe or do whatever it is she do. He's left there by himself to fend for self at 7 because she couldn't get a babysitter, meaning she didn't want to pay a babysitter. So Child Protective Services had to come and take the child. When they come in and find her, the 7-year-old, in the house, living by himself, taking care of himself at 7, and a dog, and his feces all over the house. She couldn't cook, wouldn't cook. She sleeps all day and afternoon, and she gets up and gets herself dressed up to go hit the clubs up at night. That's what Jalen Green don't know, because he's 22 years of age. And that little boy that was 7 years old that she left in the house, he's now 21 years old. So you're dating a guy 1 year older than your son. So let that sink in. 1 year older than your son. Now, stepfather is going to be 1 year older than him. Now, what is he going to tell you, to go to your room? Now, knowing this much, you got to be asking another question. And that question is simple. What does this have to do with Jalen Green? And I'm glad you're asking that question, because here it is where people say, well, why would he select this woman? He has to know her track record. Why are you dating a woman that's really bringing nothing to the table? Because he's 22 years of age. It's the same reason why these young guys was going after Amber Rose. You see guys who are of a certain age, who's about in their 40s, who's about the same age as her, they know her history. She's been around for years. So they've all had her, they've been there. They're looking for the new now. They're not thinking about her. These young guys, they see her on TV and they see her on the internet. They see her on IG and all these photos, and they thinking, wow, when I make it, I'm going to get me an Amber Rose. I'm going to get me a Draya Michelle. I'm going to get me one of them. So when they get on, that's what they do. They run out and get them a young one. Straight up and down. That is what is happening here. They go out and they get them one of those Instagram models that they seen on Basketball Wives, even though she wasn't a basketball wife. This is a woman that walked out on her boyfriend who played for the Eagles, the moment the Eagles cut him and he wasn't going to be in basketball no more, he was just going to go into analyst work. Soon as he got cut or released from the Eagles, he was done. She broke up with him immediately. They had did a reality show. He was on there. And as soon as he got released, they broke up. So now she's with a young Jalen Green. His nose is wide open. He got money. He's just coming into the league, one of his own. And right away, she hits him with a baby at what, 39? About to be 40. So, did he get finessed? Yes. But he finessed himself. So everybody needs to start asking themselves better questions. Not just the questions, but better questions. Absolutely. I had a convo about this with my son. Yeah, it's obvious. We know better because we're in our 40s. So we know it's different with us. I wouldn't touch either one of those women. I I was never into Amber Rose or Draya Michelle. I don't fall for those type of girls. You know, I see through that. Even when I was younger, I was smart enough to know that's not it. Superficial women don't throw me. Nah, I've never been attracted to slutty. You see, that's not my thing. You see, you could be an attractive, intelligent woman in a business suit. She could have a business outfit on, and you could be intelligence is sexy to me. How you carry yourself, that's sexy to me. You know, we have to basically look, and thanks for the super chats too. I appreciate it. We have to evaluate a little better. We don't go and evaluate what we want. We go thinking with the wrong head and run in at a young age, and then next thing you know, here it is that we got children with people we don't love. And then you got another kid out here that you just created with this woman, and you're not thinking of building a life with her. And now you have a child with her. And now the child is going to be confused, wondering why daddy don't want to be around. Well, you don't ever want it to do that. You don't want to get to a position where you're not, let's say, you're not the one. Do you want to be that person? Nobody wants to be that person. These are two consenting adults. It's not about them consenting. No one said that he can't do what he wanted to do. But she's 39 and this person is 21, 22 years of age. And her son is 21 years of age. That's what they wanted to do, is what they wanted to do. I'm not saying that, but I'm guaranteeing you right now, he wasn't planning on starting a family with her. I'm quite sure that was her plan, not his. I'm quite sure Zion Williamson wasn't saying, let me start a family right now with this woman. No, it was yeah, it was a lot of different instances. When you start thinking about the best in the world, when you start thinking about different analogies, right, for family and relationships, you normally have to have a good, strong family structure around you because things happen. You know, one thing young people forget is that your parents were your age before, too. You know, and they've been there, they've seen it all. No matter how it may seem different, your parents have seen all this stuff before. But it's when you're young and you're in your 20s, you feel like you know everything. Ain't nothing they could pretty much tell you. They don't know today's times. But more things change, the more they stay the same. There's always going to be a hot girl. It's always going to be a girl that everybody's going to go, wow, I wish I had. You know, it's always going to be those women. Like some of the guys out here still would want Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson's about 60. You know, like, you know, it's just the celebrity of it. And because you see them on television, you think, wow, I need Jennifer Lopez. You know, it's like Jennifer Lopez is 55 and her knees crack. You know, it's like, not saying that. You guys got to understand, what do you expect from these women? And you kind of, they trying to make these 50-year-old, 60-year-old women act like 20-year-olds, and it's just ridiculous. It's cool to be 50 and 60 and do 50 and 60-year-old things. I hear. Well, if it was a man doing that, nobody say nothing if it was a man because see, a man can do whatever he want to do, but a woman can't do nothing. So always a man can do. Yeah, you get that stuff too, right? So you get hit with those, and the reason you get hit with those. Yeah. Why do you think you get hit with those? Is the reason why, and this is the main reason. Most time when they keep saying a man can do that, who's the breadwinner? Drake is the breadwinner, right? Or is it the 21-year-old person he's dating? Draya Michelle is the 39, right? She's in her 30s. Right? Who's the breadwinner in this situation? The 22-year-old. So it's the breadwinning situation here. It is a money concern. There is a big financial gap in between these two. A large discrepancy. So when you start looking at this large discrepancy and you start saying to yourself, this is it. Right. So if you're looking at the discrepancies and you're out here doing something else, you start to notice there's a lot of problems that's going along and ensuing from the whole layout. You have to think about your finances. If you're not thinking about your finances and you are somebody that's making tens of millions of dollars compared to somebody who's a woman of leisure, I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? You have to protect your assets. Now, for 18 years plus, you're stuck in this situation. Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. She got him for 18 years. She got him for 18 years. 18 years. And then some. They've just passed a law that says you can pay child support in conception. From the moment before the baby's even born, you could be hit with child support. Let that sink in. So you got to be really careful if you're any man with means. You've seen situations where it was different. You've seen situations where it was an entirely different Yeah, you've seen it where it was an entirely different spectrum, right? Jennifer Lopez dated a man who was a dancer, and she married him in like a week. Then what did she do? She divorced him in like a couple of months. She had to pay that man. You saw Holly Berry get pregnant by a doggone man who didn't have any money whatsoever. They never got married, and she got to pay him child support. She's got to pay this man money to take care of their daughter. And she's the one with money, and she's a female. So we've seen the dynamics change. So it's not about male or female. It's about who makes the money. Well, well, when you start looking at the narratives and they don't change, or they don't alter their plans, you start seeing a totally different scenario. Oh, I saw it. I saw it develop. I saw it play out. I saw it turn into something that it didn't need to be. I saw it go in a direction that didn't make sense. I saw the demise of industry and business. A lot of people who go into it for materialistic reasons, they find themselves in this group where it's about monetary things. They want your money. They don't want your time. They don't want your presence. They don't want you to feel like you have anything of self worth. They want to try to destroy you any way, they shape, form that they can because they have the pull, they have the power to do so, and they'll do it in silence. So what you're seeing is a dynamic of people who are keeping you in a state. No, you don't want that. In your life, do you want to be with somebody who don't love you? Do you want to be with somebody who don't have your best interest? You're laying up with them and you're dating them just for sex. But let's say you really do grow feelings for them. This is going to be your main issue. This was going to be your main drawback. This will be your, what you would call the end of the road for you. Because after this, you will be no more. This is all lined in the cards for them. But for you, mm-mm. It's a balance of power and a dynamic. Most people who don't even make money, they have power and control of the household. You've seen a lot of NBA basketball players with wives who they've met in college. They grew up with these women. They know their families. They know everything about them. So they have a different approach and they trust and they let them have control of the household because they're not around. You need someone that's going to have your back. You don't disrespect that by running out, sleeping with any of these rats that you see out here on the road now. You see what Steph Curry did? He empowered his wife. She tried to go to Hollywood and didn't work out for her. She came back home. She ended up getting with Steph. And she wasn't in love with him. They said they were high school sweethearts. They were not. She dated and went on prom with a whole other guy. She was not into Steph. Steph loved her completely, but she was not feeling him. But as time went on, she eventually grew feelings for him. So that happens, and for others, they don't. It's not like they fall in love at the same time. He probably always loved her. From what I've known and been told, he always loved that woman completely. But he elevated her and helped her get into her own zone to where she has businesses, she has things going for herself, and she's taking care of the household. So she's not somebody that's just living off of him. They are a brand, they're a team. She's not like, oh, let me see what all the money I can get out of. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. Is love dead in today's society? I don't think love is dead. It's just that people don't know what love is. And for them, like I said, people are stuck up from too many sexual advances. And you keep going and aligning yourself with, oh, this person, that person. Look, eventually you're going to run into a situation that what you think is love may not be love. And people are more looking for lust than love. And they don't understand that until they get older and they realize, damn, I wish I had love. Love is going to be there for you when you're sick and you can't take care of yourself and you need somebody to help you. Love is the one that's going to take care of you. That person that's got to be there for you. They got to make sure they get you to the hospital or nurse you back to health. Or some business you need them to take care of, they got your back. You ain't got to worry about it. And the love you have for them, vice versa. You're going to be there for them. They could be in sickness, going to the hospital, dealing with all kind of pains. They might have illnesses. And you're going to be there by their side no matter what. That's love. That's that love that's going to be there. Now, nobody thinks about that until it happens. So if you don't have that in you or surrounded by you, and you got somebody who's there for monetary reasons, then, it is what it is. You know what you signed up for. I'm not saying he got sense. I understand what he was looking for. He's 22 years of age. No matter he plays in the NBA or not, he's 22. I told you why he would go for Draya Michelle. These are women of leisure. So if you see these women of leisure that's out here, doing whatever, they at the clubs, party, and they on the Instagram. When he was a teenager, he was looking at these girls as it, like Amber Rose. All these guys know Amber Rose. Amber Rose is like in her 40s, 45. Nobody's thinking about Amber Rose right now. That's why she's popping up with all these different dudes and all that. Nobody's thinking about Amber Rose. Except for these young guys, they'll be like, man, that was the one Kanye had, Amber Rose. And, man, I got to see if I can get Amber Rose. I get on, I'm going to get me Amber Rose. It's like, really? All right, well, you know what comes with that. So you got to just know what you're getting yourself into. But they enamored, the younger guys, they enamored with these women. The older guys know better. I told you, they've had these women. So they be like, oh, man, I've had them like 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's probably 10 years ago. They've already been through that. So these women know that they got to get the younger group that's looking at them like they're somebody. So I'm not blaming him for going after Draya Michelle. It's just that I don't think he was listening or thinking about protecting himself. And he, to me, got finessed when they got this kid. So that's on them, man. But I'm going to get up out of here. I didn't want to spend 40 minutes talking about this, but y'all was acting like, man, I want you to get your words on it, man. You never said anything. I'm like, all right, well, I'll say something. And that's just it. So we said it. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Welcome to HD, IITV, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, Armando Black TV, and we out. Peace out, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button up.